Can a person with bad credit ever get a mortgage to buy the home of their dream? Is there hope? Hi, I'm Joyce, and in today's video, I want to share 5 tips to help you rebuild your credit history. Welcome back to my channel. I used to work as a mortgage advisor, and in my time, I noticed that a lot of people, 1, they have bad credit, 2, oftentimes don't know how to fix their credit. And this is why I'm doing this. This video is part of a series of videos, and I will highly recommend that you watch those videos as well. Why? Because everything in those videos actually are relevant to you if you've ever been rejected for credit due to bad credit history. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps the channel reach more people. So, what makes you have bad credit? The simplest answer is if you fail to stick to a credit agreement. You take out a loan, you say you will pay the loan over 72 months, which is 6 years, and maybe you miss one of those payments. That means you failed a credit agreement, and that would have an impact. And it is very easily done. Take, for instance, let's use Experian's credit score, for example. The highest you can get with Experian's credit score is 999. Let's just say you miss one payment. How many points do you lose for just missing one payment? You lose 130 points, which takes you down to 869. It also means you've gone from having an excellent credit score to having a fair credit score. Say you then default on that loan completely. Defaulting means the creditor has decided that you can't meet up payment and they cancel the agreement. That means you've defaulted. One default actually makes you lose 350 points. See how easily it happens? Having bad credit is not a life sentence. You can turn these things around. Here are my 5 tips for rebuilding your credit. My first tip: keep your nose clean. Even if you've been declared bankrupt or you have CCJs, you can still start to behave financially responsibly after this period, because lenders tend to focus more on your recent behaviors. If you've been declared bankrupt like 3 years ago, but in the last 2 years your account has been clean, this will help to build your credit. Another thing I've actually just discovered that I did not know before was something called bankruptcy discharge notification. So after 1 year of being declared bankrupt, you are discharged from it. You can obtain a discharge notification and send it to all 3 credit reference agencies, that's Equifax, Experian and TransUnion, to keep it on your file. Having that on your file will help to start to rebuild your credit history. Tip number 2, open up a basic account. Now, this would apply to you if maybe because of bankruptcy, because of the CCJs, you might find some of your accounts have been shut. If that happens, open up a basic account for your salary to go into and to pay your bills from. Most banks offer this kind of accounts to help you rebuild your credit. So tip number 3 is to apply for credit builder accounts. There are accounts designed specifically for people with bad credit. They call them credit builder. They're usually credit cards. You normally will find that they will have very low balances, but they will also have very maybe high interest rates. The idea is to use them well. And what does that mean, to use them well? To keep well within the limits of the account. Don't spend more than you have. In fact, when it comes to credit utilization, only spend 25% of the balance. So for instance, if the limit is £400, never spend more than £100 per month, because remember, it's all about rebuilding right now. It's not about spending. You spend £100 and at the end of the month you pay it back. I think the final thing I want to say about a credit card builder like that is to never ever withdraw cash on your credit card. I would in fact say never, no one should ever withdraw cash on their credit card, because it sends out a message that you are desperate for cash. Lenders don't like that, and it would actually damage your credit history. Tip number 4 is very easy. Always be accurate and factual on any future credit applications. If you are asked if you've ever had problems in the past, make sure you declare it, because if you don't, the lenders will always find out anyway. And if they do, what they will see you as someone that, okay, you had bad credit and you're trying to hide it. They might put a fraud indicator on your file. You don't want any of those. So be honest, be factual on your credit applications going forward. So my 5th tip is a bit of a deep one. It really is that reflect on why you are here to begin with, and own whatever reason it was. Because I find a lot of people that will say, oh, I am in trouble, I'm in financial trouble because maybe of illness, maybe I lost my job, things like that. And yes, if you lose your job suddenly, you can find yourself in difficult financial situation. But my challenge to you is every person should always have what we call an emergency fund, which is about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. And it's really designed to look after you in situations like you lose your job. Because when you lose your job, you still have to pay your bill. So I want to challenge you that once you get back on your feet, work on situations like making sure you're building some buffers into your life so that we don't get back here again. Another situation that you might find yourself in is that you got into trouble because somebody else is using your information to apply for credit, identity theft. Now, that is not your fault, but how can you mitigate against it? You can make sure you keep your eye on your credit file, and guess what? You can do it for free because we have statutory reports that are free. Also, Karma Credit, this is TransUnion operating through Karma Credit. They can actually let you see your score every month if you want to see it. So, and guess what? Checking your credit yourself does not damage your credit. It doesn't do it. So self-checks are considered soft checks. It doesn't damage your credit, and you can do it as often as you like. So make sure you do this. Some people get into trouble because maybe they have an application with somebody that had bad credit without them knowing. So if someone has bad credit and you do a joint application with them, maybe a bank account, a credit card, a mortgage, you immediately inherit their bad credit and you will start to get declined on things. So be careful. In fact, I would say avoid joint applications. I just don't do it. Avoid it. And if you had to do it, maybe you're a couple, then I think it might be wise for you to check your credit, each other's credit, before you go into any joint application. Just living with someone doesn't mean you inherit their bad credit. You only inherit their bad credit if you have a joint credit application. So if you have a joint savings account with somebody, it does not destroy your credit. Although, be careful having joint savings with people that have bad credit. I personally won't do it. So I hope that was clear. Finally, the last part of reflection that I want you to consider is if you are a person that likes to shop, or maybe you want to keep up appearances and this is why you got into financial trouble. I feel that this is more of a psychological issue that you need to admit, you need to own, and I would say seek help for, because if you don't, even if you get out of this financial problem and you don't deal with it, you will be back here. I know that this was an issue for me and I had to deal with it, because every time I was unhappy, I'll go out, I'll buy myself a shoe, and it will give me temporal happiness, but it didn't last and it made my debt situation worse. So this is one way I would say deal with it as you are rebuilding your credit. I know that this is a lot to take in. Don't worry. I have created a free guide for you to download here. I hope this has been helpful. Comment below, let me know how you've been getting on with the task of rebuilding your credit. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Share this video with friends and family because everyone can do with better credit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.